In this video, I'll be making a box in the shape of a Super Nintendo. The project is a continuation of a tradition I started shortly after becoming an uncle. It became clear early on that they would receive a constant barrage of toys from other family members. Instead, I decided to gift them a silver coin each birthday and Christmas, hopefully one day going towards something more substantial, possibly even teach them about saving and investing. Essentially, the project is a fun way to deliver and store the silver coins. First step is to break down the oak boards roughly to length. I salvaged this timber after building a flight of steps at my parents' house. I didn't have any pieces thick enough to suit the design, so I had to glue two of the boards together. The clamps are just to hold the stock while the CNC machine bores the screw holes. Depending on the job, screws are my preferred way to secure a piece to the table. This makes it much less likely for the material to come loose mid-machining. The holes are bored using a 3.175mm flat end mill. This piece of stock will become the base and lid of the box. Most of the material will be removed using a 6.35mm flat end mill. The oak looks great, but it's prone to tear out. There were a few times this happened, but nothing so bad that it couldn't be fixed. This may have been avoided if I'd programmed the CNC to use climb cuts. This side of the stock, the CNC is machining the outside surface of the box. The base is on the left and the lid is on the right. Once all the roughing passes are complete, I use a 6.35mm ball end mill to make the finishing cuts. The stock is turned over to machine the other side. Same as before, I use the flat end to remove the bulk of the material, then finish with the ball end. I'd really like to find a solution where I can use dust extraction on the CNC machine that does not block the view of the camera. Until then, I'm just going to have to deal with the dust. This piece of stock will make up the small components within the box. To make some of the finer details, I'm using a 1.6mm flat end mill. Cuts need to be made shallow and slow to avoid breaking the bit. I've turned the stock over to make the cuts on the other side. After the CNC work for the box is complete, the components are still joined together with small tabs left by the toolpath. I cut them apart using a handsaw, then clean them up with some sanding. Some fine tuning was required where the fit was a little tight. This section is the bottom housing that supports the button assembly. I'm using brass screws to secure it in place so it's removable if needed. It seems during the CNC designing I forgot to include the cut path for the on-off switch spring. Easy enough to fix up. I'm gluing a small nail to the underside of the power switch to simulate the feel and action of the original Super Nintendo. A steel ball bearing pushed by a spring will force the switch to one position or the other as it hops over the ridge created by the nail. A quick dry run test fit to make sure it all works. I've designed the power switch to be locked in the off position while the cartridge flap is closed. To open the lid, you first need to insert the cartridge, then slide the power switch to the on position. The front of the box needed to be made as a separate piece so I could add the details with the CNC machine. I'm going to use fine nails as a hinge for the cartridge flap. I used a piece of scrap timber as a guide to drill the pilot holes in the lid for the nails. Unfortunately, I had to re-drill the holes due to a design flaw in the flap, which also needed to be remade. This is the second attempt at the cartridge flap with changes to the design. I've added a block in the centre for the spring to attach and extended the depth to move the hinge points further back. The last piece of stock is for the cartridge, all very much made the same as the previous pieces, except I've used a dovetail bit which keeps the lid attached to the base when they slide together. Unfortunately, I've only got time-lapse footage of this cut being made. The little fine lip on the controller insert broke as the CNC made the cuts. I redesigned this piece a little more robust and made it again off camera. I used black CA glue to fix a magnet to the lid and base. I pre-stuck a magnet on the back using tape to ensure that the polarities are correct. This also helped to keep the magnet at the bottom of the hole while the glue was setting. After a bit of sanding, the lid and base closed freely enough. This piece is an afterthought. I wanted to add a lip that would prevent the cartridge from dropping all the way to the bottom of the box when inserted. I'll attach this to the underside of the button housing. I'm attaching the hinges temporarily so that I can sand the front and sides of the boxes while the lid and the base are aligned. I'm using a hard wax oil to finish the project. It's my go-to finish because it's easy to use. I basically drown the surface in oil, then wipe it dry. After the finish is dry, I sanded it back with 400 grit, then gave it another coat. There's nothing preventing the cartridge from falling out when the lid is opened, so it will need to be removed after the power switch lock is opened. There are a few issues with the design, but overall I'm happy with the results. If you enjoyed the video and would like to see more projects, please hit the like button and subscribe. Thanks for watching.